a special message for a very special soul. Hello, I am so glad you found your way here, and I need you to know that you did not come across this video by accident. Spirit has honestly led you here, because there seems to be something going on about you not really getting how cherished and valuable you really are. And in today's tarot card reading, this is exactly what Spirit wants to talk about. That you are special, and they have a very special message just for you. There are 8 billion people in this world, and only a select few are going to see this. So I hope you really take these powerful messages that are going to come through today. Take them to heart. I am Cheryl Harnish. I'm the author of 3 oracle card decks, one of which we are going to use in our readings today. And what I've decided to do, because I always like to do something a little bit different, in my personal readings, I work mainly intuitively. I use the cards actually very little. And so what I wanted to do was open the floor for Spirit here and bring through whatever intuitive messages apply for each of the groups. So I've written it down on a piece of paper for each group, what's coming through, and we'll also be doing some runes. I know it's R-U-N-E, but my mouth sounds like I'm saying R-U-I-N-S, but I have an East Coast accent, so please be, be kind. So what we're going to do to choose our groups is we tried this last week, I like pulling a card for that because I find that it really does, it sets the energy, it sets the intention, and Spirit can really, take over the reading, and you'll know which one resonates for you. So group 1, okay. We have the Fairies card, and I see that I have the cards upside down, so let's turn them around. And for group, I need to say the Fairies card involves people, relationships, and not love relationships, people relationships, okay? So for group 2, we have the Doves card, which it does have an element of love to it because it's doves. But that love is a little bit different. And what this predominantly talks about is new starts and new beginnings. Okay? So I just want you to go off the fractal image that you're looking at and what resonates for you here. And let's go with Boundless. Okay, so with this card, there's something about lifting the boundaries, full potential, that sort of thing. So Spirit is kind of hitting into 3 different areas, let's say people, life, that sort of thing. This is more, we'll say, kind of path purpose. And this one is potentiality. Let's put it that way. So you choose which one resonates for you, and I'm going to get us started in the reading. Hi, group 1. Okay, so you have chosen the Fairies card. Now, a lot of what this card is talking about is involvement with other people, situations going on that are quite emotionally challenging. And there's a big spider web in the center of this fractal. And that spider web sort of represents getting stuck in and entangled in, drama and the going-ons of relationships. So there's some theme that is happening there that Spirit wants to talk about. However, I also have my notes that I took down, and I'm just going to put them in here like this. Now, excuse my writing. I do a lot of this with my eyes closed, and I'm left-handed, so, bear with me here. So some of the things that were coming to me, the very first thing that came was the feeling about belonging, that there's some element or aspect of feeling maybe that you don't fit in, but it's not quite like you don't fit into this world. It's more like, where do I belong in this world? Like, where is my spot, my place in life? And there's something about having to rise above. And I wasn't quite clear the way that I was seeing this. I wasn't quite clear if they were talking about you rising above circumstances and things that have been happening, or rising above as in elevating your place and position in life. So I think this will resonate differently for each of you in a particular way. Now, there was a lot in this reading that was going on about the heart. Like, you guys you have such big hearts. You truly do. And it's about love. It seems to be the theme, in your lifetime, or the theme, especially at this point that you're at, is about your love, your heart, how to be that love and light out in the world, and how to belong or fit in being this big, beautiful, sensitive soul that you are. Now, one of the things that I found was really interesting is when I came into that heart energy, I had this feeling that there was something going on around your believing in yourselves, believing in your spiritual connection, your spiritual gifts. Like, I want to say a lack of confidence, not feeling strong in yourself, in your ability to move forward with particular things. But then at the same time that I was having that, I got this very strong feeling that even though you're having trouble believing in yourself, you have this hope or belief in the goodness of humanity. And I know that seems like a contradiction, but it's like it's written or imprinted into your soul that no matter how dark and crazy and wild things get here in this reality, that there's some part of you that is connected to the truth and pureness of the souls of these people who are incarnated here with you. Because there's something very important here with you guys. You have an earth angel type energy. And there's a lot here to do with being in service. And I feel like you guys have these dips or downs or low times. And a lot of that is energy internalizing. It's turning inward, and it becomes almost like this black hole kind of energy, that depression. And it's very important for you guys to get into output, to it's like, this is all I can do with you guys, is I'm right here in my heart. And there's something very important about you turning your energy on an outward trajectory so that your energy is moving out. This is expansive. It brings you up, that rising above feeling again, bringing you up and out of the depression. Or, it might not be depression for everyone. It's just these lows. Let's put it that way. But there's also something that's important that you're learning through your own personal process and what you're going through. Because there's something about the service that you are here to do that is about raising the vibrations in this world. Whether that's, on a big global scale, or just with the souls that you encounter in your lifetime, there's something about elevating their energy, raising their vibrations. So again, that rising above is so important in your energy. I really have to say. There was also something, this may not apply to all of you, but I felt like there was and understanding at a very early age, earlier than most, of something more, something greater, that deeper kind of spiritual awareness whispering to you even in early childhood. And again, it's because you guys are these earth angels, and it's so important for you guys to be hearing those whisperings and callings and following them. Now, there was also this, it's important for you guys to make these really sincere, heartfelt connections with other people in whatever it is that you're doing for work, as part of your service. That there's something here for you guys. It has to be real. It has to be sincere. It has to be true. And again, heart-centered. And I felt in that for many of you, there's something about, you guys are almost like these little fireflies, if you want to put it that way, and you're here to shine your light, to be like this beacon or lighthouse of love energy, to draw, light up the way, in a way, for those souls who have lost their way. And I wouldn't be surprised if many or most of you have had encounters with other people who may have had drug or alcohol or substance problems, addiction problems, people who are struggling under the weight of the heavy vibrations of this reality or dimension that we are in. And it's almost like you've had these experiences in your lifetime, again, so that you can develop the tools necessary to be able to do the work that you're here to do. So that, to me, it does make sense why the Fairies card would come up, because you guys are the heart-centered group, right? And you're going to have a lot of these lessons around, maybe toxic people, unhealthy people, people who just are not doing their work and soldiering through anyway, holding the line for spirit anyway, even though you've had your challenges and difficulties in that area. Okay, so let's get out the cards and see what else we've got going on here. I would really like to know, you guys, how you feel about getting the intuitive aspect combined with the cards when we're done the reading here. Okay, Spirit, what else does Group 1 need to know? These are a very special message for our special souls. And we have the Consciousness card, Change of Mind. This is all about your mindset, your understanding, breaking out of old patterns. It's almost like a record, for those of you who are old enough to know what a record is. It's almost like each time these difficult situations arrived earlier in life, it almost like put a scratch in your record, so that every time your record goes to play, it's skipping and jumping and taking you back to old things. And there's something about new understandings, deeper understandings, and breaking out of patterns here that they're talking about. And we have the Rebirth card. Okay. It doesn't show up on camera very well, but this almost looks like a uterus, and there's a little fetus inside. And this is talking about that retreat. And I feel like they're saying that because of you guys being so sensitive, that you've done this kind of pulling back from the world. But in this process, I want to associate Phoenix energy with this, because this is a time of re-nurturing yourself. That time away gives you the time to, review past patterns, past relationships, and to come back out into the world in a much healthier and stronger way. It's a type of rebirth, okay? Now I just want one more, and it's right in here. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. So we have the breakthrough card, and that is exactly what I had said with this change of mind card, that this is about breaking through your old patterns. Like the cards are backing up. Their spirit is backing themselves up in what it is they're saying. And I feel like because of what had come through intuitively, that this is the very special part of this message, that I know it's difficult to go through these kind of situations in life and still come out standing and going, okay, I still want to be a part of the world, and I still want to love and be loved, and I want the world to be about love and experience love. And that is the kind of breakthrough that is happening here. So Spirit is trying to give you every ounce of encouragement that they can to stay strong. Just hold on. You are coming into a rebirth of a new and improved version of you that is much more solid and stable here. So let's get out our tarot cards and see what they have to say here. And I'm just giving them a quick little shuffle. Okay, Spirit, what do our people need to know in group 1? Oh my goodness, look at that. We have the shaman. Okay. And we have the Ace of Shells. They're backing it up here. Okay, so with the shaman, that card really talks about, this would be the Hierophant in the regular tarot deck. And the shaman is very much about spiritual wisdom, seeking guidance, but not only that you have wisdom and have guidance. And there's something important about traditions, traditional kind of coming in here. And there's also, this talks about formalizing things through marriage. Okay. So there's something in that energy that's here for you. But, literally the things that you would think of with a traditional shaman is the energy with this tarot card, that wisdom, that deeper understanding and that deeper knowledge. And then we have the Ace of Shells. The Ace of Shells is, again, because it's the ace, it's new beginnings. Shells are like cups. And so there's a new beginning, a new start, and that totally comes in with this rebirth card. But there's a lot of feminine energy that sits with the Ace of Shells. So it's coming into more of a grounded, heart-based, intuitive kind of platform here that you're coming into as a foundation. Now, there tends to be meeting new people, the beginning of new relationships coming in here. And I'm not talking romantic exclusively. I'm talking about, new connections with people who are in alignment with you, who, are heart-centered people who want to do their personal growth work. And when there's issues, instead of going into drama mode, they want to talk about it and grow through the experience. So I just want to see, what else do we have here? Oh my goodness. We have the World. Okay, and one more here. Oh my goodness. I'm like blown away. Okay, So we have the World. You guys have 2 Trump cards showing up in your reading. And that just says the level, the depth of the energy that's coming in here. This is high level messages. And with the World card, like literally, I need to hold this. I want to hold 2 of them up so that you can see them together. Look, fulfillment, celebration, success, triumph. Like, oh my goodness, spirits, everything they can do to encourage you, to give you hope, faith, trust in that the path that you are walking into, coming into here, is something that you really do want to experience and you want to enjoy. So the other thing with the World card is that this one is talking about being in between the end of an old cycle and the beginning of the new cycle, which is exactly what I was already saying to you guys. And with that, there's also like, it's almost like the completion of things. So I feel like you're just in this place where you're wrapping up the last of this old stuff that you have been going through, and then coming into this place, like I want to say, of really feeling fulfilled, ready to come back out into the world. And so where the Ace of Shells is that new beginning, the 6 of Acorns is like the success, literally, the accomplishing of what seems like maybe impossible, because there is that element of being recognized out in the world for what you are accomplishing or achieving. Now, I know that some people are going to say, oh, but the 6 of Wands also talks about, success and fame going to your head. But you guys are you're earth angels. You guys are very grounded and so practical and so operating from the heart center that really isn't an issue with you. And if anything, I want to say that this kind of talks about the return of your mojo and flow. This is where in my intuitive notes, where I said believing in yourself is one of the areas that you are challenged. You can see the pride in this stag as he stands there. And this is you having that kind of being proud of yourself. Okay. Now, I just want to grab out our runes. I know runes, but let's just see what we have. See what we have here. I'll just put that away. So the first one I want to talk about is the Awas, because this one, interestingly enough, no surprise that this has shown up, because it talks about a better direction, that things like, it's almost like a turning of the wheel and coming down a new road, which is exactly what the Ace of Shells was actually talking about. And it's talking about change, but it's talking about gradual change, easy, a progressive kind of thing. There's also something about working with other people and being able to work well with other people. And I feel like that's what I was saying, where there's these new people coming in that are loyal, loving, easygoing, heart-centered people. I feel like this is really just backing all of that up. So I'm going to put them right over there. Now, Thala, this one actually, it's kind of funny that it's really the energy of our shaman in the rune. And while a lot of the meaning is very material, like it's about your home or possessions, resources, I guess, if you want to put it that way, The other message that comes with this is that it's about spiritual aid or intervention, if you want to put it that way, a spiritual intervention. And this really does play with that shaman energy, because it is a spiritual information, knowledge, understanding that's coming through in this process that you're going through. And all of this wisdom that you have gained is literally going to be the foundation of what you are being reborn into coming up here. So let's get out our spirit animal cards, because I feel like there's an energy here that is working with you guys that we need to know. Okay. Oh, nice. So I'm going to have to just plunk him right down here. So we have the lion. You know, this literally is about you coming to a place where you're ready to hear yourself roar. You know, really owning your life like king of the jungle, king or queen, whatever you like, of your life. It's about that. And what's interesting with this card, which has been the entire theme, I'm going to just bring this up just in case so that you can see this, that it's about letting go of the past and reclaiming your majesty, which is absolutely everything these cards have been talking about, breaking through the past patterns in relationships and being reborn into this new beginning with new people and really truly feeling successful and triumphant in your life. So, I mean, I can't think of a better message for you than this, but I just want to grab out now, just so you can see. There's a ton of these quotes in here. There's probably about 70. So I'm just going to kind of mix them around, and we're going to grab out a quote here. Never let hard lessons harden your heart. Oh my goodness, you guys. The hard lessons of life are meant to make you better, not bitter. And what more could be said for your reading than what has come through here for you today? You are truly so precious and so important. And I know that it has been difficult and such a challenge when it comes to encountering other souls. But Spirit truly is sending you as much love and support as they can to give you the comfort and strength to keep moving forward, because your light is truly important. Oh, that kind of teared me up. So, if you liked your reading, please do hit the like and do subscribe, because I have some amazing things coming up, including a giveaway very, very soon. Anyway, I would like to know what you thought of your reading. Please do leave me a comment down below. I love you, and I'll see you again next week. Take care. Hi, Group 2. Okay, so this is about the completion, because we have the circle, the ending of a cycle, coming into something new. So I'm quite curious, whatever this is high energy, because we have nearly every color of the chakra going on here. Now, what I'm going to do is just grab out my notes. Now, just a word of warning, I'm left-handed. I write most of this with my eyes closed. Things are misspelled. It's messy. That's not what this is about. So please don't criticize. Okay. So the very first thing that came to me when I tuned into the energy of you guys in group 2 was that there was some sort of obvious talent that you guys are like overtly gifted in some way, and that most of you would have had comments throughout your lifetime about, wow, you're so talented. Wow, I wish I could do whatever it is that you are doing. And it did have a lot of creative kind of flair to it, but I feel like that's not encompassing you guys as a whole. That's just for some of you. It feels to me that you guys are almost like in a different category than most people. And I don't like the word elite, but unique. Let's go with unique. You guys are in a unique category of your own energetically, the imprint, the energy that your soul carries. And that's why I put different than, because you just aren't quite like the everyday regular Joe, right? And you know that, and I know that you guys feel that sort of energy. And it was really pronounced to me that somehow you've had to like fight your way or work your way to where you are now in life. It did not come easy despite this talent that you have, that your journey that you've been on has been wrought with really digging deep to get yourself moving to where you have gotten yourself today. And I almost feel like I need to say kudos, good for you, like that. I feel like Spirit is like, yeah, that cheering kind of energy is so strong in this. I just cannot express. But with this, because I feel like there's something about you guys being in the spotlight in some way. Like, you are not meant to be hidden away in the closet. You are to be out here in the world, engaging the world, being a part of it. And what seems to come through extremely strong is that this has something to do with your higher understandings. There's an element here in your energy of being like the teacher, the wise one, the one who shares wisdom, information. You guys just seem to have, it feels to me like you just seem to have an insight into people that most people, it would go right over their heads, but when you're interacting with other people, you just seem to get them on a different level than most. And there is this higher knowledge, higher wisdom, this understanding. It's like sage energy with you guys. And you really are intended or meant to be sharing your knowledge, your voice, teachings, learnings, however you want to say this, out here in the world. And it feels like throughout your life, you have carried a lot of responsibility. And I don't know if Spirit is talking about you carrying a lot of responsibility for yourself, to get where you are today, or if they mean that you've carried a lot of responsibility, throughout your life for other people. I don't know what exactly it is that they're talking about with that, but it's certainly a strong energy here. And it felt like it was very important for you guys to have, like, you guys need your soul family. You need your support people, your best friends. It's like, it's not even about having an intimate relationship. It's about having a real relationship with other people, because it's so important because of this kind of elevated role that you guys have here to play in this world, that you have that support and encouragement with other living people in the flesh who are also incarnated. So that is what I picked up in the reading. Now let's just get out the cards and see what they have to say. Okay, Spirit, what is our message for our very special soul watching this? Third eye. Okay, they're talking about your intuitive gifts, which would be why you have such an innate feeling of this wisdom and knowledge to share, because I believe that you guys are getting a lot of that intuitively. And I feel like I need the one right under my finger there. Footprints. Footprints. This is literally about leaving your mark on the world and how you want that mark to be, how you want to walk your path, walk your purpose. Wow. Okay, so Spirit, where am I going? Right in here. It's in here. There it is. And we have the renewal card. Okay. This one, I believe, came out last week. So let's just budge these over a little bit. Now, with that renewal card, it's a spiral, and that's talking about healing. It's energy out. It's a lot of growth, and usually it's a lot of lessons. But the renewal card is talking about a renewal in particular relationships that often are family relationships or relationships that, you know, with your best, closest friends, they can be like family. And so there's some sort of healing or greater understanding that's coming through here, either on yours end or their end, that really brings a new foundation for these relationships to grow from. And I feel like this is an aside from the main message that we have here, because like I said, the footprints card and the third eye card is talking about these innate gifts that you have. You know, a lot of the times we are working and operating in a way that is actually intuitive, that we don't even realize that how we're going through our day is 80% intuitive, 20% just thinking. And because it's such a natural part of how you function and operate, but not everybody operates like that, and especially not you guys in group 2. And there is something about how you connect with spirit that is a part of your path and purpose. And it's almost like talking about this the completion of this old way of life or old way of being with old relationships coming to not be as important as walking your path and purpose. Now, like I said, there is that element of being a teacher or like learning, teaching, lessons, classes, that sort of thing. Wisdom, I want to say like counseling even, or yeah, I don't know. You're helping to elevate the mind and understanding of other people. Okay, so let's get out our tarot. Oh, and we have the Hanged Man. That's actually a good card. Right in here. And we have the Nine of Shells. Oh, good. Okay. And I want to go right here. We have the Magician. Yep. This is making sense. So I'm just going to bring these down a little bit. And let's go right there. We have the Page of Shells. Interesting. Okay. So what's interesting is we have 2 shells, which are cups. And then we have 2 trump cards. So I want to start with these 2 guys because the 9 of shells has a lot to do with, well, it even says it on the card, fulfillment. I was going to say like wish fulfillment, that what you dream of and dream for kind of comes into fruition, comes to reality. And there is a happiness that comes with this. It does also talk about partnerships. Now, you can take that as meaning marriage, but they really do mean partnerships. And I'm feeling like they are perhaps pointing, because it did come out here to path and purpose, that where I was saying in my intuitive notes that it's really important for you guys to have your personal support team, that there's something about that partnership energy when it comes to your path and purpose. So for some of you, it may actually be working directly with other people on a certain path, or that you're in partnership supporting each other on your individual paths. Now, the Page of Shells, this one is interesting because, like in the traditional Page of Cups, it's very much about, receiving love letters and proclamations of love and things like that. However, in this deck, it's a little bit more about, receiving messages from spirit, this deeper intuition floating. And the word intuition is actually written on the card. I just see that now, which is interesting because it's sitting right under the 3rd eye card. So again, spirit is backing this up, this intuitive kind of way that you guys operate. But I feel like this is also talking about news, like receiving some sort of information that is going to help, direct you to the path that you really need to be on to really fulfill your purpose in a way that fulfills your heart, because it is that fulfillment energy coming with the 9. So they're sistered here. But either way, this card does carry that element of good news coming your way. And I feel like this is a part of that whole renewal energy that's so strong here in your reading. Now, the Hanged Man, this one is really about breaking out of old ways of being, breaking out of old patterns, making, it's almost like an adjustment of, well, it says perception there, an adjustment of how you perceive things, how you, when an event happens and your head just automatically defaults to your old story pattern, it just kind of repeats this old story. You kind of put a halt to that and go, no. I want to see this with fresh eyes for what it really is. And with this card, along with letting go, there's also a patience that comes with this card. It's asking you for patience, or you're developing patience through this. So patience with your really understanding your intuition, patience in these relationships as they shift and change. And then we have the Magician, which is rebuilding your future and the life that you're coming into based on what you have learned, the wisdom that you have accumulated through your past experiences. And with this Magician, also there is a huge element of consciously manifesting your reality. So instead of it just happening, reality happening, and feeling like, it's taking you by surprise, you really take hold of the reins and go, this is what I want for my path coming up. And consciously, purposely stepping into your role as a manifester to create that and bring that. But there also comes with this a greater awareness of your gifts and talents, which is so important for you guys because you truly are talented. Now, let's get out our runes. My mouth doesn't like to say it that way, you guys. We'll just drop them down. Whoops. Drop them down here and let me put this away. Okay. Now this is interesting because we have ensues. And like, talk about mirroring the tarot cards here, because like I said, the page comes with this news, messages, things like that. So does ensues, because it's about, it says that it's about seeking advice and wisdom or guidance. But I really feel with you guys, not only is it receiving that, I feel like you guys are giving that as well. I mean, it does represent communication or seeing signs or signals or indicators on your path. So that definitely is mirroring what the page is saying. But I feel like what some of this is saying is that this is about you receiving the signal or understanding of how to share your wisdom as part of your path and purpose. Now we have Hagalaz, and this is very interesting because this one is actually talking about, it has a lot to do with the subconscious mind, the unconscious, being ruled by that, emotions, things like that. And sometimes it's talking about going through or having gone through some sort of trial or crisis that ultimately comes to this peaceful, beautiful resolution at the end. And I feel like they're kind of talking about this energy of you coming through this cycle of difficulty and challenges and coming through with that deeper understanding of yourself, in the line of personal growth work, like why you did what you did, why they behaved the way they did, and how you grew as a person and as this soul and the lessons that were involved in it. And it's brought you to this place of really, truly, deeply seeing into the heart of matter and to the understanding people in such a deeply profound way. I just want to grab out our spirit animal cards because I feel like there is one in here for us. So Spirit, what is the animal totem that our group 2 needs? It's right in here. I feel it. I feel it. We have the Huron. Okay, I'm just going to budget these guys down. Okay. Now, it's almost comical at this point because we have the page, which has intuition, we have the third eye, and then we have Huron. And the Huron also talks about intuition. What are the chances of that? But one of the big things with Huron is saying that there's something about being like a philosopher or really understanding or contemplating the deeper messages and understandings of life. And it even talks about that patience is one of their virtues for Huron people. And this is exactly what the Hanged Man talks about, is patience. And this is also about knowing how to honestly look within yourself to find the answers that you need, being your own source of wisdom, and again, utilizing that to your path. This does carry an element of success and a strength in walking your path and purpose. It literally is everything that we have already been saying that came through even in the very beginning with your reading. Now, just want to grab out so you can see this is packed with all kinds of little sayings, and I just want to give it a little stir, and let's pull this out here. Okay. The most authentic thing about us is our capacity to create, to overcome, to endure, to transform, to love, and to be greater than our suffering. And I'm just going to put that right here. So I feel like it's very clear from the messages that have come through today, both intuitively and through the cards, that you guys have this inner source, this well of wisdom and divine connection that is truly meant to be utilized and shared out here with the world. And I feel like Spirit's just trying to say, you know, these bumpy parts, just hold on. You've got the ability to be patient and allow this process to come to completion, because you are in the stirs of creating a brand new, beautiful life that is so focused on your path and your gifts as a teacher, as a healer, as a wisdom keeper. Okay. Now, I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you did, please do let me know down in the comments below how you liked having the write-up, the intuitive bit with the cards. And if you aren't subscribed, you're going to miss out. If you do not subscribe now, I have some amazing readings coming up and some fabulous giveaways. Okay, as always, my heart is with you. You guys are truly special, and I hope that you felt that in your reading today. As always, you know I love you. I will see you again next week. Take care. Hi, Group 3. Okay, for our Boundless, this is saying that there is nothing that is out of your reach, that anything and everything is truly possible, and that the only limits that you are going to experience are the limits that you place on yourself. So what I want to do is just get out the my sheet of paper that I wrote down my intuitive hits on here. And I'm just a word of warning, I am left-handed, it's messy. A lot of this I write with my eyes closed. So it's not spelled properly, just forgive it. Is what I'm trying to say. Forgive that. It's about the messages. Okay. The very first thing that came to me when I tuned into your energy here was that there was this feeling of like hesitation almost. And some of it felt like fear, but then I felt like it's not just fear for the sake of being afraid, but a fear like of uncertainty is a better word actually for it. And so there was a hesitation of stepping out in your path, but it feels to me like you guys know that you have a path to walk, and you guys truly are like the powerhouses of the three groups energetically, like, yeah. And I put so many challenges because it feels to me like there has been so many hard knocks of lessons around power, your empowerment, the power of others, power of them over you, how to regain your power or use your power in a healthy way. It's going to be different for each of you, but there's something very strong in there. And so I feel like I cannot say that it feels like your path was easy. Some people really do have an easier time at incarnation, but it doesn't feel like that to me. There's been so much learning going on here, but it's only because you have such tremendous resource and supply that you are responsible for in bringing out into the world. And so that's where a lot of this lessons has come, because there is a feeling that somehow there's this theme of, in your energy as purpose, about changing the world. Now, for some of you, that could be like, going out to change the world out there, and making your contributions that way. But some of the way that this was coming through, it felt like creator soul, like this energy of really understanding the truth of your divinity, that you are God incarnated, that you are creating your reality at every moment, and that you are empowered, enabled, learning, and will continue to learn how you are creating your reality that you are experiencing, but using that in a way that helps to create a co-reality with the rest of the souls here on earth that is for the better. And there was something very important in that with your energy. Now, the other thing that came here, so I put manifesting reality, claim their power, because I feel like for many of you, not all of you, but many of you, you haven't quite hit that spot yet where you really are claiming yourself and owning yourself and owning your truth and strengths. It's almost like you haven't quite yet seen it, but you will see it. You absolutely will. And because of all of this challenge that has gone on, it feels to me like there's a little bit of like protection going on here, and that's totally normal and totally natural to want to protect your heart when you have been so challenged in life. And it's almost like that sort of retreat kind of energy. I mean, you might be going out every day and doing life like everybody else, but you know in your heart that you aren't 100% in here in the world with everybody, that you've got, that spacer or buffer between you and the rest of the world. And that is something that with time, I feel that you are going to feel safe enough to let that down. And that is as you really come to claim your power and your truth and your understanding of your true divinity, and your ability to manifest, that you will feel safe enough to really let down and develop that like overall intimacy with the world, where it flows, you let it in and you flow back out with it. The other thing that comes here is rebuild. That word came very strongly to me. And it feels like almost like rebuilding your life in some ways. So I feel like some of you have been challenged in that way. And if it's not rebuilding your life, it's almost like rebuilding yourself. So like taking all the best parts of yourself and aspects of yourself and emphasizing that as you rebuild into this part of your path coming forward. Now, there is a huge leadership ability or leadership energy going on here with you guys. And I feel like you are the ones who are meant to be in the forefront. You are our spiritual warriors. You are meant to organize the people, lead the troops, like I don't know any other way to put this. And of course, it will manifest differently for each of you, how that comes about in your path. But you guys definitely are the alpha souls that are here to help point the way, point the direction, and lead into this higher vibrational energy that we are moving into. There was also, this doesn't come very often, but it did come up with you guys in group 3. The number 17 came up. And I felt like for some of you, this may not apply, right? But for most of you, either the number itself is important to you, but I felt like at around the age of 17 for most of you, or many of you, that something significant happened, or 17 years ago. So at the age of 17 or 17 years ago, something significant happened in your life. And because it's a group reading, I can't hone in on it. However, I'm leaving this up for Spirit to talk about in the cards. So let's get out the cards. Now I have to warn you, there is a flight school, airplane flight school, 5 miles from my house, and they are flying non-stop today. So please forgive it if you hear airplanes in the background. I can't do anything about it. Look at that. So we have the fertile card. And that's interesting because we have the Boundless card. And remember, I was saying this is about you really taking the reins over your life and understanding your divinity in manifesting and creating your reality. And you have 2 manifesting themed cards, because this one is saying no boundaries, and the fertile card is saying that the conditions are right now for you to really plant the seeds or water the seeds for them to grow for the things that you are wanting to create and bring forth in your life. So this is a very powerful theme going on here for you guys. I have to say, you definitely have the helm. Okay, so I see 2 of them at once. Okay, so we have the Clarity card, and this one I want to take. And we have Nurturing Universe. Okay, so these 2 on the side, I feel like they're just a more subtle energy or message going on here, that the Nurturing Universe is about you feeling nurtured, cared for, supplied of all the things that you need, both emotionally but physically, because I feel like that's ignored, or, you know, in spirituality a lot, it comes down to, you know, just emotional growth and security and things like that. And our physical well-being, you know, having the income that we need and the finances that we need to live a life that is joyous and peaceful, that you're not in worry mode all the time. It's very important. And because Nurturing Universe came out with this, it's saying like now is the time for you to really be focusing on doing the things that you need to manifest the income, the security, you know, living situation and all of that, that will bring you that true comfort where you can really relax into life. And with that Clarity card, I feel like they're talking about really stripping away all of the, you know, erroneous wants and desires that we have. Ooh, I'd like to have this. Ooh, that. And really coming down to a place where you become clear about what's truly important, what truly matters for your well-being. Okay? So I'm just going to grab out our tarot and see what else, Spirit, what else does group 3 need to know for our special souls? That's the one there. And we have the 8 of Acorns. And I'm just going to spin this deck around, you guys, because I seem to have it upside down. And I want this one. Oh, nice. Okay, we have the 3 of shells. And, oh, my goodness. We have the 6 of shells. Okay, shells are equivalent to cups. And that one, whoops. 9 of acorns. Okay, now that's interesting. Acorns are wands. So we have 2 cups, 2 wands. So with the 8 of acorns, I just get that up. Okay, this one has a lot of energy moving through it. And so I guess the word there is restless, I think it says. Okay, so it is a high energy card, but it also talks about a lot of changes coming up here. And it doesn't mean big, drastic, major, life-altering changes, but that changes are being made, a lot of them. And I feel like that's what that clarity card is talking about with you guys coming into that place where you're just a lot more aware of what you really truly need in your life and what you do not need in your life. But with this also comes a lot of communication. Now, this could be talking about you stepping into this leadership role, and that involves more communication on your part, which I have a feeling that as this begins to unfold and you really settle into that role, that is going to be a big part of it, that you are, putting yourself out there in the world more and really connecting with people, talking with people, and doing way more communication. This card also involves travel. So I just want you to keep that in mind, that travel is a big part of that card. Now, with the 9 of acorns, this one really is saying that there's a lot to do with coming into your own power, which kind of makes me giggle because that is exactly what came to me intuitively before your reading, that this is really all about your power, right? But it's also about persevering, not giving up, keeping your head up, even when you feel like there's difficulties or challenges. And this card talks about those difficulties and challenges, which this is the embodiment, literally, of everything that I wrote down on the paper before the reading is in this 9 of acorns. And I feel like this is telling the story of what you've come through, is how it feels to me. And then we have our cups. And so with the 3, there's a lot of merriment, if you want to put it that way. Merriment. It is because the dolphins on there are really showing that playfulness, that lightfulness, that enjoying yourself and celebrating and that sort of thing. And there can be opportunities of someone coming back into your life from the past. Not always, but sometimes. But there is that sense of joy that comes with this. And also a huge thing to do with community, connecting on that level. And I feel like because there was that feeling with you guys of not like, where do I fit in this world? I'm kind of hiding away here, protecting myself. And they're talking about you really coming to this place in this next new phase of your life where you have that sense of community. You have that sense of connection and connecting with people. Okay. And then we have the 6. And this one is very gentle energy, very easy energy. And it is also light. And it's almost like the wands were talking about your past and the difficulties there. And then this these two cups are talking about coming up in the future, because there's a sense of ease that comes with this card, and gentleness, kindness, if you want to put it that way. And it's like a nostalgic kind of looking back at your past, I guess I shouldn't say nostalgic, reflecting back onto your past. And there can be a lot that has to do with connecting with people. I want to say soul family here, because it can feel like that past life connection, or that feeling of I have known you forever sort of thing going on. So I feel like the juice of this message is that there is this deep, beautiful connection coming for you here with other people that give you that sense of security. And because I feel like that's a good way to sum up what they're talking about here with you. Now let's just get the runes. Okay. And I'll put one here and one here, and we'll just get the bag tied up. So I want to start with Manaz, because even though this one talks about humanity as a whole, it is also speaking of friendships, our connections. It's talking about social order, which is exactly what is a big theme going on here about you guys being this kind of leadership energy, that there's a lot about you really stepping into your place in the social structure of humanity. But because this talks about like being of aid or service, if you want to put it that way, I feel like they're talking about you being in service to humanity in a leadership role, where you really step into your own power and light with this. Now, Perthro has everything to do with like occult wisdom, hidden teachings and knowledge, and manifesting literally falls right into this category. But it's about the mysteries and becoming aware of secret knowledge, if you want to put it that way. But it does say that a part of the path that you're on right now is being hidden, or you can't quite see it for all it is. And I feel like it's because it's not fully manifested yet. You haven't fully stepped into this next stage for you to be able to see it. So do not, don't let yourself go back into like a place of being worrisome or fearful because you don't know what's coming up here ahead of you, because you have some amazing things coming up. And the other thing that this one talks about is actually fertility and the potentiality of things. So it's literally mirroring, again, what has come in the cards. Now, what I want to do is we're going to dig out one of our spirit animals here. I'm trying to shuffle them. They're so huge, though. Okay, spirit, which does our group 3 need to know? Oh my goodness. Infinite possibilities. Okay, what are the infinite chances that you get the Boundless card, which talks about endless possibilities, and then you get the Unicorn, which is infinite possibilities? What are the chances? So this one actually talks about being highly intuitive, highly creative, highly imaginative, which completely suits what we're talking about here with manifesting, because it's the art of imagining and visualizing that bring forth the fruits, if you want to put it that way. But it truly does have this, it's like a magical energy that is running through things. And I feel like this is completely Spirit's way of reassuring you that despite all the challenges that you have beautifully overcome, there is a magic coming up here in your life. You know, the impossible for you is absolutely possible. It's more than possible. It's probable. And the unicorn truly does represent the light, you know, and everything that is beautiful and of the truth. There's that element of purity that runs with unicorn. And it literally talks about moving as a person, moving beyond the ordinary to the extraordinary. And I feel like this is the truth of the potential of who and what you truly are that Spirit has brought through in this card for you. This is so powerful. I'm like so touched. Now, we have one more thing, and this bag is filled with all these little quotes. I can't see them all in there, but there's about 60. And get one out. I'm sorry. Okay. Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. Wow. Okay, my goodness. That is absolutely beautiful, because this is truly what is happening for you guys. You are awakening to your true gifts, to your strengths, to this beautiful path of true magic. And I know that sometimes you can get skeptical and a little bit soured out by life. And I feel like this is why Spirit chose you to have this message, so that they could infuse you with that magic and that beauty and just go, my God, please remember how special and important you are here. And that is why you needed this message today. Oh, my goodness. Okay. If you enjoyed your reading, please do hit the like and share the reading with other people. I'd really appreciate that. I would really like to appreciate hearing, what did you think of having the intuitive write-up go on before your reading? Did you like that? Did it resonate for you? Would love to hear. If you are not subscribed, you need to subscribe, because I have a lot of very cool things planned for the channel, and you are never going to guess what I'm going to do each video, because I'm always seem to be doing something different. And as always, you guys, you know I love you. I cannot wait to see you again next week. Mwah. Take care.
Sunlight, is it in the way you're moving? What's heaven like when you're like that? Is it in the way